All right, hello again, everyone. Um, just wanted to do something a little bit different today. Usually I do little arm wrestling talks in the car, but today I wanted to show off my setup. So, over the past few years, I've just kind of been working arm wrestling a little bit here and there. Haven't really gone fully into it just because I like working out in general. And arm wrestling is just kind of a hobby right now. But over time, I have accumulated a lot of different training equipment, a lot of different stuff that I use when I do train arm wrestling. So I guess I just kind of want to take you guys through some stuff. So I do keep a lot of what I do up here on the board. That kind of changes every now and then. Sometimes I do like to keep a little bit of a training regimen. Over here, I've got a bunch of different weights. Some of them assorted, some of them I've picked up here and there. I've got a chair in case I want to do any seated lifts. I've got a mirror. Over here is where I kind of do pronation lifts. So I just can put the weights there on the belt and I can just kind of, pick it up if this is even going to work. So I can just kind of brace it up into my leg and pull it up off the floor. So yeah, this is kind of where I do a lot of different weighted lifts. That is a belt that I got a long time ago when I was doing karate classes. I still kept that one in storage. Broke it out as soon as I heard that they were good training tools for arm wrestling. And in general, they're incredible tools. Just because they're softer than normal straps. See over here I'll go over some of this equipment, but I got this from Home Depot. See a 1,100 pound weight limit. This thing was only $1. And it's just got this strap here, so I can kind of loop it around my thumb like that. The only problem with doing that is as I pull, this material is not soft. So it can kind of cut into my hand a little bit. I don't have any scratches right now because I've been taking a little bit of a break, but also this is my Azrael professional arm wrestling table. Rather than buy a simpler one first, I wanted to buy one that I knew I could rely on. Besides, with these, they have these solid sides, so I can actually put my foot up on these whenever I want to, rather than the super thin ones. You can't really put your foot up on those. So this one is actually really stable. It was really easy to assemble. All of these pads come out and everything. Solid handles. If I were to ever recommend a table, this is the only one I've owned, so I can't speak on the matter very well, but this has been a good table. Pads come out really easily. They kind of just sit in those holes, and you can switch it from right to left very easily. As you can see, there's a little bit of wear and tear on the thing already. I only got it about a couple months ago. Over here in the corner, if anyone is wanting to start arm wrestling practice, this is what I used at the beginning. It's just a simple backpack, and what I would do is I would take one of these. I just have this bar. They were makeshift dumbbell set. My grandma had them. She just gave them to us. But what I would do, I would set this up and I would put this down in the middle, and then I would stack each weight that I would need into the backpack. And then I have backpacks are incredibly useful. So I can grab here and do pronation lifts, or grab tighter and grab both of them with my hands, do little riser lifts, and it works really well. I would use this upper strap for pronation lifts. This was back when the amount of weight I had. These, I only have about 60 pounds worth. These black weights I got only a little while ago. I've got two 25s, a 10 pound, think about 8 5s and 4 2.5s. Pretty good set. Cost me a little bit of money on Marketplace. This is the thing I'm kind of most proud of. So what this is, if anyone doesn't know, is this is a foosball table. And we've always kind of had this in our basement. Me and my family, I'm in my family's house right now. The thing about this is it is super useful. So if you look over here, I guess I can run through some of this stuff real quick. This is a makeshift grip. I made this myself. I put little like grooves in it, cut around the edges a bit, so that when you hold on to it, there's these little edges that it makes in your hand. So it's difficult to hang on to, but it's also easier to rotate as opposed to a handle like this, where no matter what you attach it to, it's just gonna spin. This, it is fixed. Only issue is when I pull it, that metal piece can kind of rub up against my fingers, so it's a little uncomfortable, but I do like using that. This was just it was a Fit Beast grip thing that I used to use a lot, but I put it on the highest setting to see if I could do it, and it broke. But I keep this piece because it's got a loop here. I don't know, maybe sometime I'll use it. But this that broke off is actually perfect, and I'll show you why. I can hang it up here, put my fingers around it, and then I can just do that with it. Just little finger training. So I do keep this piece even though it's broken. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I always think that there's a way to use everything, even if it's broken. This, just a simple little measuring thing for curiosity, just in case. This is, like I said before, this was a very easy to buy and find strap. It was at Home Depot, if anyone wants to find them. These have the 1,100 pound weight limit. Super durable, super useful, incredibly cheap. This, just a metal water bottle. I can loop it around stuff in case I need to use it for cupping. Down here, just have extra pipe. I'll show you what I used it for. And this, I'll set it on my foosball table. Maybe if my arms are sore, I'll kind of rub them over top of it. This, just a simple blue dollar store pad. This is good because it's super thin and it moves around easy. So what I like to use this for is back pressure. So if I come over here, I've got this is just a kind of table I set on top of here. I'll get to explaining it more, but for back pressure, that blue pad can move, so I can get used to, you know, kind of just dragging my elbow back a little bit on these lifts. These were some of my first pieces of equipment. I've got all of sort of assorted weight bands here, and what this foosball table is perfect for is I can just grab any one of these and I can loop it around the outside, and then I can just do whatever training I want with them. So I can pull them any way I want. Only issue is this thing does kind of rock back and forth, but it still works super well. And usually whenever it does lift up on this side, I will brace this against it so that when I set my elbow down and I pull this thing can't really move because it's braced up against the table. Over here, kind of proud of this, I have made my own little pulley system. So I've got a couple weights over here, super light. I've got this extended rope, so if I'm going to use that table with it, I can set the table right there, and then this rope will be to reach the table so I can train weights on the table instead of just the tabletop, which does move around. I'm getting to that. I'm still working on this. Over here, just a little makeshift thing, can lift up off the ground. This was also just from Home Depot, Lowe's. It's bolted down to the table there, so I can just kind of pull whatever over it. This is, you can call it a multi-spinner, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but this does work really well. You can twist it around the sides however you want. I've got slits in the top so you can turn it into a full handle whenever you want. Another pad, just to set my elbow down. And that is kind of everything for my basement tour. As soon as I figure out how to record better, maybe I'll do some research and figure out what people like to use for their YouTube videos, whatever. Right now, I'm still just recording on my phone, but that is just about everything. So yeah, if you've watched this video, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Armbet, influenced by Devin Larrett. He said that this is one of the best straps to have, and it was super cheap, so that was the last part I wanted to comment on. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.